Hello Stampers! I got a pretty little bird card for you today, and I'm using a brand new stamp set out of the January through April. So our spring mini catalog for Stampin' Up. And today I'm using the Inspirational Sketches stamp set, and we're going to be using this cute little sparrow. It's an adorable image. And we're going to be using the flowers too. So I'm just going to take you step by step through this card. We're going to be creating the background for this image also. So here we go. So I have all the dimensions for this card down below this video. All you need to do is click show more under the description, and you'll see all the links to the products along with all the dimensions for the card panels. So I'm starting out with a basic white panel, and this is 3.5 by 4.25, and we're going to use it landscape, not portrait. Okay, so the long ways. Here we go. We're going to start with, let's see, some crumb cake ink. And I'm just going to do some directed paper. I want it to look like there's some plants or something behind this bird. And so I'm just going to take the short end of this ink pad, and I'm just going to create some like swoops in the background here. And these can be feathery looking, whatever you feel. You can have some thicker ones down here at the bottom, but just like that, and we're all done. So that was easy to put that little foliage in the background. And then I'm going to take some balmy blue ink here and a blending brush. I just want to add a little blue for the sky, just here and there and on this panel. You don't have to do the whole thing, just add some like in spots. That kind of gives you a cloudy looking background. So we have that, super simple. And now we're going to stamp a couple images. And I'm just going to do this on scrap paper. So I have a piece of basic white here, it's just some scrap. And I have a Memento Tuxedo black ink pad here. And I'm going to stamp this bird. Just going to ink him up real well. And we'll give it a good stamping. I like to hold my images, my stamps down for a minute. There we go. Cute, cute bird. And then I'm going to ink this up once again. And I'm going to stamp it so that it's on the card, so it's on the panel. So I'll just give it a little stamp here. And there's our bird. And you're going to see why I did that here in a little bit. Okay, so we have that done. And then I have a flower image here. And I'm going to stamp it also on this scrap paper. So there we have it. And I just love these images because it just adds the shadows in for you. So we're going to start coloring our little bird here. And I'm going to take some wild wheat. This is a Stampin' Blend marker. And this is the light wild wheat marker. And I'm going to use the fine end and just color in the beak a bit here. And the legs. Now we're not worried about going outside of this image because we're going to be cutting that image out. Okay, so I'm going to take the wild wheat again, and I'm going to color just this one flower here. And again, you don't have to worry about going outside of this image, so just color it really quick, and then when you cut it out, you can cut around the petals. So this makes it super fast when you don't have to worry about staying inside the lines there. So that was the light wild wheat. So for the bird, I'm going to use a light pecan pie here. And I'm going to color the little head in. And there's this little white area around the eye. I'm going to leave that with no color. And those white spots, I'm going to try to leave as much white on this bird as I can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this little area right here. And then I'm going to color the wings here. It's a pretty color for our little bird. And then color the tail in. Now I'm going to add some gray for shadowing. So I'm going to use a I'm going to use a dark smoky slate. And there's like some shadow areas down here. I'm going to add some gray there and right there. And there we have it. That's all the coloring we're going to do for our bird. Now the middle of this flower here, I'm just going to do the center with black. And then I'm going to take this little pecan pie, the light pecan pie marker, and I'm going to add some where the shadows are underneath some of these petals, just to distinguish them a little bit. And I'm going to go around that center. And this not only helps with the shadows, it gives you another place to use that pecan pie, so everything starts to coordinate with each other. So now I'm just going to cut these two images out here real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've used my paper snips and I just quickly cut these images out, and now I'm going to glue this image onto the cardstock here. But first, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and use my smoky slate marker here. This is dark smoky slate. And I'm going to use the brush end here, and I'm going to extend that branch out that he's standing on, just to either side of his tail on the image. Then I'm just going to take the fine point of a black marker. This is the basic black, the dark basic black, and I'm going to just add a line along the bottom of the branch just to give it like a shadowed side. Then we can add our little bird on here, and we're just going to glue it right on top. When I cut it out, I didn't cut the branch part out. I just cut it at the bottom of his feet that you can see there. And we're going to just glue this on. And that way he's on top of that background that we put in. I'm using multi-purpose glue here, but you can use any glue or adhesive that you like. So just match it up with that image that you have. There we go. Look how he just stands out there. And then we're going to save this for a moment. We're not going to put it on yet. I have an early Espresso panel here that's 3 5/8 by 4 3/8. And I'm going to glue this main panel on top here. This is just 1/8 larger than our main image panel here, just to give it a little frame. I like that. That looks great. And then I have our card base here, and this is Early Espresso, and it's 5.5 by 8.5 folded in half to create our quarter card. And inside I added a wild wheat panel that's 4 by 5 1/4. So on the front of this card, we're going to add a piece of 2023-25 in color designer series paper from the paper pack. And this comes in 6 by 6, so I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to add a piece of this to the front. We're just going to center this up on the front. Here we go. And then I got 2 strips of early espresso. These are 1/2 inch by 5. And we're going to add these just right at the top and the bottom here of our card front. And I'm going to put them on so there's only like a 1/16 of an inch or so showing at the top of that strip there. I'm going to do that same thing at the bottom. This is just for interest on our card. So there is that. And then I'm going to adhere our main panel on here and center it up. You're going to like how quick this card comes together. I just love taking this stamp set and making little scenes out of it. It's just perfect for that. So there's my little bird. And now we just need our flower on there. So I'm going to pop this up using Stampin' Dimensional. So I think I'll just put 3 dimensionals on this flower. So cute. And I'm going to add this on here, just on the end of that stick that he's on, just like right in the corner. Okay. And then I want just to add just a little bow. And so I have this pack here. It's 2023-25 in color jute trim. And I'm going to use the wild wheat for this. And I'm just going to take a piece of it and tie a bow with it. I don't want a real big bow. I'd rather it not take over the scene. So I'm going to pull these little legs so they're going the same direction here, and then I'll tie it tight. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut them off. And I'm going to get my mini glue dots out here. Coming to the end of this roll, I'm going to have to break out a new roll here. Just going to put one of those mini glue dots right at the back of the knot of this bow. And I'm going to kind of push it under my little flower there, just a little bit. And then I want the little legs to come out this way. So I'm just going to take one of those glue dots here. I just rolled it up. And then I'm going to stick it on here, just right on the cardstock, and then put the little leg there for my bow. So it's not up there on the bird. It's going the right direction that I want it to. And there you have it. There is our card for the day. There's plenty of room that you can actually put a sentiment or whatever, but this can be used for so many different occasions. I just left mine blank for now, but you do you. So there you have it. Our card for the day. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me. Toodles.